Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my 2016 beauty favorites. So I'm doing makeup favorites, skincare favorites, hair favorites, food favorites, book favorites, everything favorites. So that's what we're doing in this video. It might be a long one, so you might want to go grab a vegan snack. Just kidding, that's so annoying, oh my god. So let's start with makeup. So as you probably already know, I'm very annoying about it. I went cruelty-free about halfway through the year. So I am officially cruelty-free now. Well, at least I try to be to my best ability. Sometimes it's kind of like, is it or is it not? But yeah, so that's just what I do. And there's like endless makeup to buy now that I'm cruelty-free, so not that hard, and I definitely recommend it to you guys, especially if you're like in a makeup rut and you're like, oh, I'm just using the same products, I want to find something new. Going cruelty-free kind of pushes you out of your boundaries and you have to find new products, which is kind of fun. And then you also can just like save a lot of money because you don't buy like all these other brands that test on animals. So anyway, just telling you guys that. Let's start with foundation. So this was the foundation of the year for me. I love this foundation. It's probably in my top, it's probably in my top 2. And it's actually from the drugstore. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is the 2-in-1 foundation. I use it in 03 Light Beige. This stuff is amazing. It's full coverage if you want it to be. Otherwise, if you use a beauty blender, it'll kind of take away some of that coverage and make it more natural. If you use it with a beauty blender, that's my favorite way to use it, and I just dot some on my face and then blend it in, and it looks amazing. It lasts so long. It's so good. It looks great in pictures. It's got no flashback, and it's from the drugstore. You can't beat it. It's so good. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys to go buy this, but man, it is really good. Okay, next let's move on to concealer. So my favorite concealer, and this has been my favorite concealer for a really long time now, it was the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I used mine in Custard, but I also plan on picking one up that's a shade lighter than this. And this is really amazing, especially if you are somebody who has problems with your under eyes. So if you have under eye circles, it will cover it. If you have mature skin or if you have wrinkles under your eyes, try this out. It is unlike anything else I've ever tried. It just fills in your lines and it just kind of makes everything look really smooth, and it's like it changes before your eyes. You'll see what I'm talking about if you go buy it. The second concealer I have is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I really do like this one, and I do actually love how big the applicator is. It's huge, but yeah, I love this one. I use it in light. I do feel like it's kind of tough for me to find my shade in this one for whatever reason, but yeah, I do love it, and it is very full coverage. It is very full coverage, but it is blendable, and it looks really nice on the skin. I don't find that it settles in anywhere, and it's really easy to set, and it stays a really long time. So that's another favorite. Next for face products, this is like probably one of my favorite bronzers of all time. It's also from the drugstore. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It is so good. This is like the perfect color. I use mine in the medium. It's like there's like a light shade, and then I use the medium. If you do too much contour and it looks really muddy, just put this over it and it will take that away immediately. It smells like summer. It smells like a vacation. I can't really say enough good things about it. It is matte, so it's not gonna make you look all shiny, and I don't understand bronzers that are anything but matte. I just don't get them, but this is so good. Please go get it if you haven't tried it. It is so good. It's the best. The drugstore really did it for me this year, and I found finally a perfect drugstore contour palette, and it is the Catrice Prime and Fine contour palette. It is a perfect cool toned shade, but it doesn't look muddy and it's not too warm. It is perfect. It blends really well. I find myself actually reaching for this over some of my higher end contour palettes, and it's really good, you guys. I mean, it is like that perfect color. I don't find that this ever looks bad on me, and this is so cheap. I don't know what you guys are waiting for because it is so good. If you haven't heard about this or picked it up, you heard it here first. Go get it. Moving along for face, I also love the Milani Baked Blush. This is in Rose de Oro, and it's in 02. So this is one of the most beautiful blushes. If you have even a darker skin tone, this is going to look amazing. It just really shows up and it stays for a really long time. I feel like a lot of blushes just don't make a difference on your face either way, and people just spend so much money on blushes when they don't need to because they don't even make that big of a difference. It's really healthy and natural, and it just gives you a really nice pop of color. For eyeliner this year, the winner was the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This is a brush tip, so it's really easy to do winged liner. And winged liner is very difficult. Even if you've been doing makeup for 30 years or if you've been doing makeup for 3 days, it's hard for everybody. So this makes it easier, and to me that's priceless, but this is only 20 bucks, so it's not that expensive. If I was out of it, I would go and buy it like immediately the next day. Okay, so for eyebrows, I think you guys know that I'm not easily impressed by eyebrow products. To me, it's just like, whatever, who cares? But this year I did find the Catrice Eyebrow Stylist, and this is actually a pencil. And I don't usually like pencils, or I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't ever reach for them because I was like, oh, I'll never get something that's that precise. But I came to the end of 2016 and I'm just like, you know what? I don't like those huge like square brows, like the Instagram brow. I don't like that look. So I like these because it gives you a natural look, and I like this color on myself. I use, I think, what is this called? Mine is in 020 Date with Ashton. So I really like this for myself. I kind of like the darker brows and like the light hair look. Not everybody does, but that's okay. But it does also have a like spoolie on the end, and I just think it's a really easy product for anybody. I've been doing makeup for a long time now, and I love it, but I also think it'd be great for beginners too, who are just starting out with brows, and it's just easy. It would be really hard to mess your brows up with that product, so I definitely recommend it to you guys. You can get that at Ulta.com, I believe. Next, onto lip products. So this was kind of the year of Kylie Cosmetics. I was totally on board with all of her stuff. I love her stuff, like I love it. So the Coco K lipstick, the liquid lipstick in Coco K, was my favorite this year. If you saw any of my Instagram pictures or any of my Snapchats or any of my videos, I was probably wearing this, and it's just like a really pretty pink, like a cool toned pinky nude, and that's all I'm looking for ever in life, and it just didn't look too dark on me, and it went with every single eye look that I could ever do. So that is definitely my favorite of the entire year. I also wore, wow, huge difference between these, not really. I also used Midi from ColourPop, and this is like a $5 or $6 liquid lipstick. This does dry down matte, and that is called Midi. And then one that was very similar that I also used was Anastasia Pure Hollywood, but I don't know where that is right now, so I'm gonna have to find that. But yeah, I was pretty much, you know, you guys probably know me already. I don't really like to stray outside of pinky nudes, so if you ever need a pinky nude, just come over to my channel and I will help you. Okay, next to talk about eyeshadow palettes, which is probably my favorite thing to buy, talk about, whatever, get, receive, whatever. So my favorite for 2016 was the Eyeshadow Bronze palette from Kylie Cosmetics. I just love, side note, that her name is Kylie and she just puts it all over because my name's Kylie, so it kind of looks like this is my palette, but no, anyway. This palette is just like, it just was sent to me, like it's me in a palette. I use this so often. I can't even believe how often I actually use this. It's just one of the most perfect palettes. If you are somebody who loves warm tones, this is so worth it. I also love her Burgundy palette, and I use it actually quite often, but this is just like everything to me. And the shades are amazing quality. I love like these right here. And this one, I just love them. I use them all the time, and it's probably my most used palette of 2016 actually, and I got it like kind of at the end of the year, so it's just funny that I've used it so much. But yeah, definitely get this if you're like a warm lover. This is a total hit for me, and if you don't have it, I would definitely try it out. And the second palette I want to talk about is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. If you came to me and I didn't see what you looked like, I didn't know who you were, and you just said, I need an eyeshadow palette, I would stop you right there, and I'd be like, I know what palette. And it would be this one, because it is just, it's for everybody. It looks, I've never had my makeup turn out bad when I use this palette, and I know that's a pretty bold claim to make, but it honestly is one of the best palettes. I mean, Tarte shadows, I'm just like, what about them? But this is so good. If you are getting married or you're going to prom or his everyday look or anything, honestly anything, you can do it with this palette. I mean, it's really good, you guys. I mean, if you don't have it, I'm sure you probably do have it already or you've heard of it, but hopefully I'm selling you right now because this is like this shade right here for your lid is one of the most beautiful shades you could ever put on your lid. I always like to just like wet my brush first and then I dip into it, but like, oh my god, these are the best shades ever. This shade right here for your crease is like, I would put that in my palette. If I was to come out with a makeup palette, this shade would be in it. It's overall like probably the most well-rounded palette. Wow, I'm getting pretty worked up, but anyway, this is life-changing. This is a life-changing palette. If you go and get it, you will not regret it. Okay, last for makeup and then we're moving on, I promise. This year I fell in love with beauty blenders and I don't really mess around with any of those like dupes or whatever. In my opinion, I would just wait till somebody else finds like a perfect dupe for a beauty blender that's cheaper before you go out and try to find your own. Like, cause honestly, you don't wanna spend all your money on like those cheap other sponges. Just get these. There's nothing else that's spongier and softer and, you know, works the same way that this one does. So I love this. I at first didn't like these and I was like, oh my god, it's soaking up all my product. Why would I want to use that? It's such a money waster, but no. It is so good. This prevents me from going way too overboard This prevents me from going way too overboard cakey because I like full coverage, but I don't really need it and I know that about myself, but sometimes I just can't stop. Like I can't stop myself, but this stops me from doing that. And it's just perfect. It's perfect to blend out your concealer. I honestly can't even think of a way to do it anymore. I used to do it with my fingers and now I'm just like, no, I'm gonna use this. I use this for everything. I use this to bake my face. I use it to put my foundation on, for everything. It is so good. If you ever have like streaks from a brush on your face, like if you can't blend in your foundation to your nose and it doesn't stick, try using a beauty blender and it will definitely make your foundation stick to your nose. It's so good. It just presses it into the skin, makes everything look flawless. It makes everything look perfect. Go get one of these. Next, let's talk about hair. So a lot of you guys asked me about my hair routine and all about my hair, and I'm definitely gonna do a video about that, so don't worry. But I do wanna tell you guys some of my favorite products that I've used this year, and I have been using this argan oil. I think that you can just use like whatever oil that you wanna use. I'm pretty much down to like the bottom of it. But I like to use this after I get out of the shower, especially because I have such blonde hair that it gets damaged and there's nothing really I can do unless I stop bleaching it, which I'm never gonna do. But yeah, I use this after I get out of the shower and I feel like this really, really helps me kind of prevent that damage that all of the styling and the bleaching causes. So if you're a blonde like me, or if you have damaged dry hair, then definitely try out this argan oil or any argan oil, doesn't matter, don't even know what brand this is. But also this year I fell in love with the Batiste dry shampoo, and at first I didn't like this one. I was just kind of like, not that great. But I realized over time that I go through dry shampoo really fast. I think all of us do. So it's really gonna cost you if you keep buying really, really expensive dry shampoos, and that's what I was doing. I used to buy the Dry Bar Detox Dry Shampoo. Not doing that anymore. This one is like 10 bucks and it's really good. You get this huge bottle and they come in pretty good scents. This isn't my favorite scent. I just picked it up because there was nothing else, but my favorite one comes in like a blue one. It's not the original, but it's something. It's like Fresh and Clean, I think. But anyway, this is definitely my favorite. It is so good and it just works really well, and it's cheaper than, you know, those other ones. I also just read on the back of here that it's vegan and it doesn't test on animals, so yay! Another favorite this year, last year, whatever it was the Saint Tropez bronzing mousse, and this is what I use to self-tan. I've tried a lot of different things, you guys. I've tried pretty much everything that there is to try. And I do like this one probably the best. I also do like Loving Tan, I'll be honest, but I just don't really like to order online. I like to like pick it up in person. So I like the Saint Tropez. I did like the Saint Marie's for a while, but then I realized it was giving me like really bad BO or something, which is totally TMI and like super weird, but I don't know, like I was putting it under my armpits, like because I wanted it to be even, and it just like I was waking up, I'm like, ew, like I smell bad. My boyfriend was even like, ew, you really smell bad, but anyway. This is awesome. Okay, next let's talk about skincare. So a lot of you guys asked me about my skincare routine, and it's coming, don't worry, I'm gonna make one. But I wanna tell you guys some of the products that I've been using and kind of help you guys get started if you want to start 2017 off with a skincare routine, or if you wanna buy anything. I have been using the Foreo for the past year, and I really, really like this. I like that it's silicone. I think I read somewhere that silicone is a material that bacteria can't, you know, live on, so it stays really, really clean that way, and I like it better than a Clarisonic because of that reason. And I just find that it gets your skin more soft than any other thing I've ever used, and it does do that thing where it brings, you know, some blemishes to the surface. Honestly, I haven't really recognized anything too crazy when I like started doing it or anything like that, but I just take a really gentle cleanser. I like to use, if you want to get like the Philosophy one, is that cruelty free? I don't know. And I just like to do, it pulsates. I'm not sponsored or anything, like I totally wish I was, but it just pulsates and then it'll like buzz when you're supposed to go to the other side. It's a really, really cool product, and charge it like every month or so, or every few weeks, and it's just awesome. And I feel like you could have this for a really, really long time, and you can also adjust the settings. And if you're looking for a device to clean your skin, I recommend the Foreo over the Clarisonic. Also, for acne treatment, I've been using the Kate Somerville Eradicate. I've talked about this in a favorites before, but you just dip a Q-tip into it and then you put it on your zit, and it totally dries it out. It's 10% sulfur, so you'll feel it. It kind of stings a little bit, and it will definitely dry it up though. So if you like pop it, which you're not supposed to, but I do it anyway. So if you pop it, get everything out of it, and then take a Q-tip and put this on there, totally dries it up. Another thing that you can use is the Mario Badescu. They have one just like this. They're both the same, but yeah, this definitely clears it up immediately, so definitely go try it out. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that this year, so definitely get it. Next for skincare is the Cup of Coffee mask. This is from Lush. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys to get this, but this is probably one of my favorite masks of all time for your face. It wakes you up in the morning. I love to use it in the morning. It just is kind of like a fun routine thing to have, and it smells like coffee, and it really, really wakes you up too because it has caffeine in it, and it just wakes your skin up and it makes you look less tired, and it exfoliates your face and it leaves it really smooth. So that's what I recommend from Lush. I love this stuff. It's so good. I told you guys this would be a long video, and it is. So I want to talk about a book favorite really quick. Book reading is kind of a lost art, I would say, but it's not lost on me. I still love to read, and I actually am somebody who, I read a lot in like middle school and high school, but I read like young adult, like I go straight to the young adult section. I love like high school, college age, like books, I guess, and I don't know. I'll probably always be that way, honestly. Like I'll be 40 and I'm reading those, but I really like this author. Her name is Lauren Barnholt, and if you want to try her out, if you really like cliche like high school love stories and like romance and like stuff like that, you'll really like this. I've loved all of her books. I've read all of them, and she's got some really good ones. Like they're like where you read them in a day and you can't stop reading them. They're really, really good. So definitely go out and get that. Also, this is going to segue me into my vegan favorites and my food favorites, but this is actually new. My boyfriend got this for Christmas, but I took it from him. But anyway, if you go and get this, if you are somebody, I have so many people tweeting me like every day, and they're like, I just need help going vegan. I want to go vegan. It's just hard and I just don't know what to do. This book, I mean, he got it for Christmas, but I was reading through it, and it tells you all of those brands that are really, really good substitutes for like chicken and meat and, you know, whatever, cheese, whatever. It tells you all the brands that are really good, and it like has perfect suggestions in here. Like, let me go. And then it has all of these like really, really easy. So if you're like somebody who's segueing into it, I know it's really hard. You're probably like, before, everybody says this before they go vegan, they're like, I could never go vegan. It is so easy, you guys. Like, oh my God, I can't even. It's so easy, but it's fun though. like the same thing with going cruelty free. People just focus on everything that they're losing and what they can't use anymore and what they can't, you know, eat anymore or whatever. It shouldn't be like that. It should be more, you should think more positive and be like, well, now I get to find all of these new things that I love. I get to go out and experience all these new things and try new things and try to find what I like and make new recipes. Like, think about the positive things about it and how much fun it is and the new experiences. So anyway, that's the way I like to look at it. I just don't like to be negative. Like, in here they have all the brands. They have all of these things that I wish I knew when I was starting, because I had to find all these things by myself, like after looking at thousands of videos on YouTube and thousands of anything. So like my favorite one is Gardein, which if you go get that, Earth Balance butter is really, really good. Oh my God, it tastes exactly like butter. But anyway, if you go out and get this book, I think it'll probably be kind of cheap, I don't know. But if you do get it, it will be really, really helpful for people that are just starting out, or if you just don't like a lot of ingredients, you're a picky eater like me, and if you are just somebody who is on a budget, like honestly, it's for everybody. So try this out. It will be very easy. But anyway, I just do want to talk about, a lot of people ask me for vegan help and vegan ideas, and I haven't been vegan that long, but the good thing about that is that I do remember what meat tastes like and what cheese tastes like, so I do know what tastes the most like it and what's very easy to kind of segue over and like transition. So Gardein brand, they have amazing like mock chicken tenders. They taste exactly like chicken tenders you would never know. I feed them, like I've given them to my brother and he had no clue, and he's like, I'm never going vegan, but he had no clue. So Gardein brand for chicken, they have chicken patties, which are so good. Oh my God, they're so good. They taste exactly like a McChicken from McDonald's, and I used to love McChicken, like no, not even lying. I need to do like a recipe video, but I'm just kind of trying to tell you guys what has been my favorite things. Actually, I think I'm just gonna do a video about like all my favorite vegan things. I'm definitely somebody who, I eat healthy, but I also like to try to recreate foods that I was eating before. Like I didn't really want my life to change that much with what I was eating, but I definitely didn't want to keep eating animals. Like I can't do it. But yeah, I love to like recreate, you know, burgers and all that stuff. So I used to love burgers and chicken and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm gonna do a video about that. I'm talking way too much and this is so long. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for making my 2016 the best. 2017 is gonna be even better. I know it is, and we're really close to 60,000 now, which is crazy. We hit that in less than a year, so man, it makes me want to cry a little bit. But anyway, you guys are awesome. I love you. Make sure to follow me on social media, and I will see you guys in my next video.